And it's doing this nicely. It's actually going around. It's actually swapped lanes. It's gone to the... Oh, so close! Welcome back everybody to Tesla Driver. Welcome to another Autopilot city tour here in the UK. Today we're going down to Truro, all the way down in the southwest. Now this is the most southwest of the cities, and this will be the biggest test of Autopilot of the city so far. And I say that because, do you know what Truro is famous for? Yeah, that's right. Ancient cobblestone tight streets. So hopefully today we're going to be finding some ancient cobblestone streets. We're going to go down to Truro, find the cathedral. This was actually made a city in 1877, which is 3 years before the cathedral even started being built, which is a little bit strange. I thought the cathedral had to be built for it to be a city. But it's a very old place, a very small city, and it's taken me about 4 hours this morning to get down here. So it's quite a trek, sorry. And the roads have been really nice. So far on the motorway, we've had no problems at all. On these kind of side roads like this, again, it's being absolutely flawless. So I thought I would show you a little bit of it working very, very, very well before we enter Truro. For some reason, when I say Truro, I think of dinosaurs and a car rental company. Anyone able to understand why? I don't even know why, but that's off the top of my head. Going through here, some pretty heavy foliage, lots of trees around, big shadows, but the car smooth as butter through this area really nicely. So I'm hoping that these cobblestone streets have some lines, or at least they have lines before them and we can enter them. I'm assuming the roads are all going to be 20 miles an hour near Truro, and it's also a very famous place for our what do you call it, where people go on holidays and stuff, vacations and tourism and yada yada yada, that kind of stuff. A little bit wide back there, but it did okay. I don't think many people have autopiloted this road because it hasn't slowed down for any of the corners prior to this, but it did pretty well. Coming into the 40 there as well, how quickly does it change? Changed pretty quick to 40. Picking up the cones as well nicely as we go into some pretty tight bends here. Is the car going to slow itself down? Yes, it is slowing itself down all the way down to 30 for this corner. It was quite a tight corner, but the car did it well. And trust me, the roads are going to get a lot smaller and a lot tighter than this. Even down these A roads, it is pretty tight, but because the lines are so perfect and the corners aren't too bad at the moment, the car's doing it really nicely. Hopefully this Range Rover will stay in front of us as well and keep us slow, regulate our speed nicely for us, give us a better approach into it. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like we're going into it at the moment. I've got it set just to go straight into the cathedral. So we'll go into the cathedral, do some of the roads around there and drive back around and out. And we're going to go back out, I think this way as well. So it should be quite interesting to see. We're hoping then this time that there aren't going to be any cars parked on the side of the roads. Hopefully if there are any big roundabouts, they are laned and the car actually works them. You can see here it's picking these up as cones and bollards. It wasn't 100% sure what to show. But that's fine. If it shows both, that's, you know, that's still good. Big lorry here, the car might brake hard. No, didn't brake hard for it. And this is a tough swooping corner here. The Range Rover in front is braking, and we're not actually slowing down yet. Okay, so we're coming to a roundabout, and I've got to say, I don't know what, that looks really weird for a roundabout in my opinion. But let's see what it does, shall we? Let's see how it works. I think I'm going right here, apparently. Yeah, okay, so I'm going right down this way. And I'm going into this 20 zone. Okay, interesting. Autopilot on. And we're coming down here into this 20 zone. I feel like this isn't the right way. Is this really the way that I'm meant to be going? I feel like I was on the main road already. This is hard to see. That was hard for even me to see, those bollards in the middle of the road there. Autopilot's back on. It's doing it. No, it wasn't doing it there. And as you heard, it literally just touched some of the flowers. Oh no, and again, some of these corners are just a little bit too tight for it. Okay, this is an interesting route that it's taken us. But luckily for us, all the cars are parked on the other side of the road. This is a 20, and you can see how well it's picking up the bollards here. Sadly, it won't slow down for each speed bump, but we actually don't need it to at 20. They're actually quite nice new speed bumps. This is a really nice road actually to come in on. It's definitely not the main way into Truro, but it's a good test for us. And then sadly, here comes our first little hiccup, which we're going to have probably quite a few of. And that, of course, is going around stationary parked cars. In fact, for this bit here, there's no point getting on the other side of the road for a minute. So I'm just going to autopilot down this side of the road, just to there. And then we'll pull it back in. Oh, okay, so it was slowing down there. I thought it was slowing down for the speed bumps, but it was actually slowing down for that van ahead of us. Which is the open reach BT man. Oh, dog doing a nice poop. We're all watching. I hope that gets picked up. We all saw. Okay, right, back onto a more normal, he says a more normal road as it comes to a pretty strange road, if I'm being honest. Keeping us on our left, which is quite good. And then again, it's stopping as soon as we get up to these cars, as it will do. Now, this is what I was more expecting. These kind of roads on the entrance into Truro, and then it get a little bit better as we go. Okay, this car in front's going way slower than me. I guess maybe they know the roads better. Keep it nice and slow down here. And this car in front is slowing us down for the speed bumps, which is really good. And hopefully as well, it's going to keep us, yeah, the car is following this car in front more, and it's keeping us on the left side of the road, which is really good. Some kids walking across the road there. The car didn't pick them up, but it didn't really need to that early on. And it's doing this nicely. It's actually going around. It's actually swapped lanes. It's gone to the, oh, so close. It nearly actually, like, it nearly did it correctly. And then it kind of confused itself and tried to throw itself back into the left lane. Little did it know, if it had just kept on that left lane, we actually would have been fine. But sadly, it didn't. Okay, so we've got this car going in left here, and my car is gonna just come in and stop behind this car. Okay. I've taken control. My gosh, wow. I was literally stopped going 0 miles an hour, and it was not happy. It was not happy with that at all. Okay, so I'm gonna actually bring this down, I think, to 15 mile an hour for this little bit here. Nice and slow over this. Hopefully not too many problems. Did do a little brake there, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it might have been for this van actually down here ahead of us. Again, nice and slow. Went over there, no problems. And yeah, it's taking us down the middle of the road here. So I'm gonna have to take control and put it into the left-hand side. Yeah, this is what I expected. Look at these kind of one way, one street kind of roads. It is very, very tight down here. Okay, autopilot back on. There's the cathedral over on our left. What a magnificent structure it is. The car worked that out nicely. This is quite a hill, and then the lines move across, but it did it well. It followed the lines across nicely as well. And this is actually a really nice place. Yeah, I didn't expect it to be this open and this big, even in the center. I expected it all to be very small and very tight. This is pretty nice. So the sat-nav here is trying to take us left. But it looks like, yeah, there's a sign there that says we can't go left for some reason. Oh, nearly. It started doing that really well, and then at the last second, it didn't do too well. It pulled us off at the end. Man, there's some big hills here. Put autopilot back on. And, oh, this is tight. This is really tight. Let's see how it does this corner. I'm going to bring it all the way down to 10 for it. I'm going to let it go. No. See, again, when it can't turn, it just, like, once it, like, reaches its max turning, it gives up and just goes straight, which is really, really strange, obviously. Okay, we've got a cone on the left here, and it did go round it, but it wanted to get nice and close up to it. Let's take a right. There's no one behind us, so we can cut across the lane. There's no one coming. Wow, yeah, this is more what I meant, like this kind of like tiny tight street. The bus is having to come onto my lane just to go, you know, around a simple road. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I'm gonna bring it down to 15, and we're gonna see if it'll do this corner. It won't. It looks too tight. It might curb it. And as we do that, we've got a car coming around the other side anyway. But it felt like it was going too wide anyway, if I'm being totally honest. And I would have pulled it off myself because I don't think it was going to make that. Okay, let's just go left and start heading into the city a bit more, and we'll try and find some of these cobblestone streets, because I promise you, I read that it has lots of cobblestone streets. Again, can't go around that corner just because it's too tight, so I had to pull it across, and as you saw, as a car come round, the car didn't like notice it and wouldn't slow down and go around the corner enough. Again here, even pulling it all the way down, just not enough. I'm trying to leave it as long as I can. Departing lane, I know, that's me doing that, I'm driving. But yeah, again, as you can see, the car itself just struggling on some of these hard corners. And again, that's just because of our limitations. We've got that limiting law that stops how many G-forces or how tight the car can actually turn the steering wheel, and that needs to be changed. Again, here we got a car oncoming to us, and our car was very happy just to sit in the middle of the road and joust, pretty much just joust any car that was coming its way. Again, here coming to the stop at the end of the road, the car's not going to stop for us, so we'll indicate left. And down here, these are really cool looking streets, but there's no cobblestones, and I'm disappointed because I wanted to try cobblestone street. Maybe they've all been patched up and they were bad or dangerous or something. I'm not sure. I'm not sure where this goes. Oh, here's the cobblestones down there. Down here's cobblestones. Okay, this is pretty cool to see. The car's doing this nicely. It's going around these. Yeah, really nice. And then as we come to a stop, you can see there the people walking by. It thinks that the triangle is an arrow, which technically it is. Oh, here's the cobblestone street. Okay, well, I don't know. Actually, I'm going to go right, and I'm going to see if I can... Yeah, there's no way. Look at this. This is awesome. Oh, my God. It's not awesome for the car. I don't know if I'm going the right way, the wrong way. I literally don't have a clue. Oh, no, there's an arrow. We're going the right way. It would actually self-drive down here. I actually want this car to go out in front, just so I can stay behind him and turn on my autopilot, of course. See, I don't know, like, for example, I don't know if I can go down that way or if I can go down any other routes. Oh, this car oh, sorry, I didn't realize this car wanted to pull in there. All right, well, we're working our way around them. So I put the car on, but there's people walking. And again, the car's just kind of wiggling about a little bit. It's bringing it really slow as it tries to figure these roads out. Okay, I want to go back. I want to go back through that, but I don't know how to get to it, to be totally honest. I'm going to take a right here. So, oh, I actually came up from that road ahead of us. That's the road that we came down and we turned right last time. So we're going to take a right this time and go the other way. We've got people walking around us, and you can see them coming alongside us now, which is cool to see. There you go. As people walk past, there is 3 of them, but it's actually just showing 1 person. And we need to merge. Again, that's something that obviously the car's got to learn. The car's got to be able to merge in areas like that. I think if I go right and then right again, I might be able to get to those cobbled streets, but I'm not 100% sure. Oh, no, okay, so you can't actually... I thought we were going to be able to turn down and turn around there, but looking down... Oh, no, it's a bus-only route. Okay, so that route that I said, like, oh, I don't know if I can go around there. Turns out I can't. It's actually a bus-only route, so it's quite lucky that we didn't go down there. That could have been pretty bad for autopilot if a bus came at it. Then again, would it react? Who knows? Who knows? Good test for it, I guess. Right, let's come off here then. So there, that was the center, and as you saw, it was very tight. It was very small. Lots and lots of trouble for the car, and it definitely wasn't going to it definitely wasn't going to self-drive down those cobblestone roads. There were no markings at all, and yeah, it was a pretty bad area for it. So as we come out here, we have got a central divider, so hopefully in theory we should be able to change lanes, but no, it's not happening. Even though we've got a very obvious central reservation there, the car still won't change lanes on these kind of roads just yet, which is a shame. This is a lot bigger than I thought this city was as well. Okay, it might have some issues here just because the road gets so wide. It might fling us about a little bit. No, actually, that was actually a really smooth merge. Really happy with how that merged in. That was really nice. Again, we're getting some really bright lights now. It's really shining on. Hard for me to see out, so I'm sure the cameras are having a hard time of it. However, it's not wobbling. It's not giving me any extra warnings. So we've got a bus lane appearing on the left here, which should push us over. Let's see if it does. Oh, no, it doesn't. It just merges. And this is doing all these roads around Truro really nicely. So we need to get into the left lane coming up. Is the car going to pick that ourselves? Because we have got the sat-nav on, so it is navigating us. But will it pick the correct lanes? Will it do everything correctly for us? We are in the left lane, which is good. I'm just going to... Actually, I don't even need to indicate right by the looks of it. But, however, the car doesn't want to go past this bus. Oh, look at that. It actually slammed on there while we were meant to be going around this bus. I'm keeping this at 10 miles an hour. No, the car there not wanting to turn, not wanting... I'm surprised, actually, how much it squirmed at going past that bus. Because it really didn't want to go past it. Okay, back onto autopilot here on our way up. And I guess it's going to take us back up and out of Truro. Yeah, actually, so that's what we've done. We've pretty much come in, done a huge lap of the city, gone through the middle, and we're now coming back out these side roads here. Bring it up to 30. I've got to say, actually, that city was really good. Pretty easy for the autopilot on the other areas. It's just those single lanes, cars on the road, and the cobblestone areas are big issues for it. But obviously we knew that there were going to be issues. Okay, let's see how the A39 is on our way out of Truro for a little bit, shall we? And you never know, we might get some navigate on autopilot coming up. This is where, yeah, so this is where I went left down there, to that kind of weird route that it took me. But it was actually quite a nice route in the end. I quite enjoyed it. Okay, waiting for autopilot to turn on. There we go, autopilot on. Car braking, slowing us down for this corner nicely. Picking up those bollards again nicely. And then accelerating out. I do like these. Oh, okay, a little bit of phantom braking there. Maybe because of the trees, I think. The trees were over our path, so it could have been that. Yeah, these kind of roads, 40-mile-an-hour roads with really good lane markings are so nice for autopilot. I do wish that the roads, obviously, whoa, braking hard there, were a little bit wider. But, oh, I wonder why it's braking hard sometimes on some of these corners. Maybe it's because the roads are just that tight and the sunshine is so bright on the right-hand side that the car's right-sided camera must be completely blinded. So maybe it's just being a little bit careful, a little bit precautious going around all these corners. But look at how well it's doing. I'm actually going to leave it as well, and so I'm ready. I'm letting go of the wheel, or at least I'm putting it so it doesn't feel me on it, and just going to time it and just see how long roughly that is. Because previously it used to be every 10 to 15 seconds. That's 10 seconds and 15 seconds gone. There we go. So it is around the 15-second mark. It does ask for it, which isn't too bad. A tight corner here, but you can see the car braking really nicely for it. Not doing any lurky movements, not asking. Okay, now it was as it got really tight at the end there, but it already pretty much completed that turn. My God, that is so bright for the car. Sorry, I'm just having to put my visor up because that is so bright. Oh. Another Tesla as we went past there. And now we've gone up into a 50. So let's put it up into the 50s. And see, the corners are a bit too tight, I think, to be going 50, so it's going to have to slow down at some of them. Like this one here, for example. I'd be surprised if it didn't slow down for it. Okay, it's not slowing down for it. There you go, it brakes right at the end. So there, for example, it needs to know that it just needs to go a little bit slower around that for it to work. We've got some pretty interesting kind of wiggly bends here. Going through some trees as well with some really harsh light spots. Really nicely done. This is brilliant. It actually kind of feels a little bit like a roller coaster down here with the car controlling it itself. Going left, right, left, right. .50 is a good speed for this as well. A cycle lane should be appearing in a second, so we might get some cycle lane appear on the road. It'd be nice as well if there was like a definitive cycle lane, if it changed the color and showed it as a lane on here. I can't wait until they start releasing more stuff for the visualization that really does take in control and make the car really improve a lot. Okay, so here we go, coming into national speed limit, and hopefully it's a dual carriageway. It's not a dual carriageway, so we're not going to get navigate on autopilot, but we can go up to the 60 and just drive our way out, and it's pretty much like this the whole way out. So there we are, everybody. There is Truro. Not too bad, actually. Not a bad little place. I would have spent more time driving around and having more time around here, but sadly there are no superchargers yet built this far down, and I only have about 10 miles to play with, which really isn't that much when you're driving about 70 to 80 miles an hour. On the motorway, it eats up a lot more miles, so I always give it like an extra quarter mileage in my tank or in the battery. Oh, this guy's braking. The car isn't braking for him yet. Okay, now the car's braking. It's noticed he's braking. It's going to have to brake pretty hard if he is going left here. Yeah, it is braking. It is braking. And then I'm accelerating with my foot, only because there's a car coming behind us pretty quickly, and I wasn't sure if he saw that I was braking. And sometimes the acceleration on the Model 3, on all of them, on autopilot, is just a little bit too slow off the mark. I wish it was a little bit quicker. This is going to be interesting, actually. We'll end it on this here. Is it going to pick the left lane or the right lane? Pause the video right now and put left or right in the comment section. Which one do you think it's going to be? I think it's going to pick the right lane. I don't think it's going to go into that left lane. I hope it does, though, and I hope I'm wrong. I'm not wrong at all. It went straight into this lane, and sadly, because there's no central divider, I have to indicate and bring it off myself and get it back into the first lane. That was a little bit of a shame, but again, showing that maybe it's not understanding that British roads were on the left rather than favoring the right lane. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and if you have any spare change and you want to support me and the channel, feel free to become a patron. Really appreciate it. The links are down below in the description. Until next time, thank you all for watching. Don't forget, drive safe.